Hey, nice of you to catch up.
Were you successful?
Naturally.
Good. Unfortunately, your friends aren't handling their cyber corruption nearly as well.
Oh, you guys are the best.
What does that make me? Hmm?
Fashionably late. But hey, you tried.
We're out of time. I command you to save us.
Firstly, we have to fight yet again Supreme. Seriously. Along with his giant rifle, etc., etc. This fight is pretty much nigh on the same as when we fought him at the end of the base game. So nothing much has changed. We still have to deal with, of course, his blasts, his various attacks and everything else, and of course the rifle. Using the parry is a good move as well. And we still have to deal with the whole Dragon Ball-esque cutscene where he does use the thing. Likewise, he shoots out his lasers and starts donning the double wings again. Seriously, that also hasn't changed. But the next phase in the fight does change. Yes, we do not go up to fight the end in a sort of fight in the air, or should I say a shooter stage, which honestly is really underwhelming, as I say, but yeah, that's still there. We still have to deal with the drones here, of course, which, not great. And of course, he still fires that shot with his rifle. Of course it does, of course it does. And with that, seemingly, Supreme should go down. He doesn't, because we'll see why in a moment. Seriously. Because he falls to his feet there, and then something strange does happen there. Because, of course, Sonic is just floating there as Super Sonic, and then the end actually comes down to Earth, and somehow straps an umbilical cord onto Supreme's head. Seriously, meaning the end is now controlling the Titan Supreme. And that means Sonic must do something else, and the fight takes a rather radical change here as well. So yeah, as we'll see in a moment, because we're still fighting Supreme, but controlled by the end. As we'll see in a moment. You can also see the cyber energy as it's trying to fight it off, seemingly. Is Supreme before finally coming under the end's control, shall we say. And then it starts growing these claws, more on that in a moment. And yeah, this is very different. Now, the thing to deal with the End and Supreme joined together is that you'll see here we are fighting it. However, while we are fighting it, what will happen is that the End will start launching a bunch of, I even see it, large things which we have to bat back. it seems that Sonic has ascended past the level of a Super Sonic. Or we could just call this a Super Sonic 2. Anyway, now the fight does get a lot more interesting against the end, because here we will have to deal with the fact that not only has it got that umbilical cord on its back, but we still have to deal with the gigantic homing shots. Look! Be careful, Sonic! Anyway, that being said, yeah, parrying them is the best way to do so. I just didn't know it beforehand. Seriously, I went into this fight rather blind. But I wanted to leave this bit in because I want to show what happens when you fail against the end. And I love how Super Sonic just flicks away the homing attacks as if they were nothing as Super Sonic 2. Seriously. Well, probably one of the most badass things I've seen in a Sonic game. And of course he still has those swiping moves. And then he has this move where he comes in close and pretty much does the same thing as he did to the Exterminator in Sonic X. Seriously, in episode 26. I'm sorry to go full on geek there, but yeah, that attack is quite badass as well. However, there is a problem with this fight that may not be immediately obvious, and I don't mean the end/Supreme avoiding Sonic's moves. Oh no, you will note that the end's HP slowly goes up as if he'd casted regen on himself. And we'll get to that. But it does have something to do with that gigantic umbilical cord that is in his head, or so they say Supreme's head, that is keeping him connected to the end. I almost said the edge. No, I'm not talking about the U2 guitarist here. But I don't even like U2 that much. But never mind that. Yeah, you see there, his HP went back up after I do, and there is a reason for that. What you have to do is do something about that umbilical cord on his head. Otherwise, you won't be able to do so. Not that it's immediately obvious in this fight. After a while, this game does give you a hint as to do so, like with many Insomniac games. And yeah, seeing that movie is quite badass. It's just a shame he doesn't tear it apart like with the Exterminator, but never mind. And that being said, yeah, at least I know to do that, but we do still have to deal with the thing. And the fact we are supersonic, that is the other thing. The fact that his rays are slowly draining away here as Sonic's, as with all supersonic fights, to be fair. But yeah, this is why it's getting so repetitive, because the game does not tell you or give you or at least not until it's too late anyway about doing so, because I was wondering why the end's HP was still going up, etc, etc. Even with the what was it, the Phantom Rush, that's it, which amplifies Sonic's combos, seriously. Anyway, let's get to the part where I wanted to talk about. See, I am actually targeting the umbilical cord rather than Supreme's head, and that is what we want to target because we want to get that loose in order to stop Supreme healing himself. Or should I say the end? But the end isn't really that. The end is healing Supreme, should we say? So yeah. And yeah, that's what we want to go for. Not for the badass Sonic X move. Eventually the umbilical cord will come loose, and then we will have to do something else. Not that, again, it's immediately obvious here, but yeah. But it will allow us to at least do some damage to Supreme. Yeah, no hard feelings there, Ancients. But seemingly Supreme is still able to behave on its own, even without the giant umbilical cord on its head. Seriously, but yeah. Honestly, I do think this fight is a bit more badass than the original shooter stage. The only problem is it's a lot harder as well. Seriously. Even with the badassery of Sonic, Supersonic 2 here. Seriously. Infused with cyber corruption. But yeah. So once again, let's do a bit more damage there. Of course. And all of Sonic's moves are still badass, including the energy blast. Looks like a homing shot! Except this time it's coming from Sonic and not the big bad for once. It looks like the Supreme is finished. However, you will notice this bit that you have to cyloop here. Then is that seemingly Supreme's rifle will go flying out of nowhere, and what you have to do is actually cyloop the area where it was. Seriously, to get it out. And then, again, have Sonic cyloop the rifle! Seriously! And, indeed, lift the rifle out of the ground, and then seemingly do some damage that way to, the end, I guess. And now, it seems that, Supreme is having a really big headache, and it seems that now we're having to do some quick time events. Seriously, what is this? Sonic Unleashed? Well, that is because the, dare I say, the End has got that umbilical cord back on his, on Supreme's head. So yeah. All while, a song I actually played a bit earlier, Kellen Quinn's version of, how dare I say, Undefeatable, I believe? No, I'm Here, sorry, not Undefeatable. So yeah. Meanwhile, we can actually do a bit of damage sending back the things to Supreme. So yeah. All in all, much more satisfying than the shoot 'em up stage, in my opinion. I know there are some people who prefer it because, yeah, it's much less confusing than this fight, but I don't know, I still prefer this. And then what will happen? Seemingly, the Dragon Ball references still keep coming. He summons this gigantic ball of energy in the same way as Frieza from Dragon Ball Z would. And if you're doing this wrongly, Sonic will lose all of his powers and rings trying to stop this giant ball of energy. I know it's happened to me here. Indeed, that's what's happened here. It's powerful enough to sap the living rings out of Sonic, seriously, as well as the Chaos Emeralds. Seriously, so yeah. However, if you do it right, Sonic just shrugs it off and goes back to Supersonic 2. Seriously. That's really badass if you ask me. And then, clearly he doesn't have the tenacity to actually destroy the moon, but maybe he don't have the power or something. But never mind, let's finish off Supreme first. So yeah, we still have to deal with the giant Titan crawling about on his hands and knees and everything, so yeah. And he's still suffering a headache, which means the umbilical cord's going to come back in a moment, isn't it? Yeah, so we do want to get rid of that, of course. All in the while, we still have to fight him, of course. And he does have a charging move, does Supreme in this fight as well, so be careful of that. Now he's down to low HP, and probably not long before Sonic gets another power-up that we won't use at all, seriously. This kind of gets forgotten just like Dark Spine Sonic and Excalibur Sonic, from the storybook series, of course, but probably Super Sonic 2 will get forgotten as well. And then Sonic goes full-on JoJo and Aura's Supreme right into the moon! As well as this, the end even. Yeah, seriously.
Sonic, it's now or never!
Sorry, Master King. Looks like I'm going all out after all.
You did well, Sage. It's time to head home, dear daughter.
Home. I like the sound of that. Father.
Now I'm not alone, a family of my own. I get to go home with you. Feelings deep inside come flowing from my eyes. I get to go home with you. All the lights up in the sky, all the times that I spent by your side, taught me love and taught me pain, things that I could never have explained. Now I'm not alone, a family of my own. To go home with you. Feelings deep inside come flowing from my eyes. I get to go home with you. Watching you go through all that you do, I never knew until I felt it too. But now I know that love is beautiful. There's so much more that I want to find out with you. Now I'm not alone, a family of my own. I get to go home with you. Feelings deep inside from my eyes, I get to go home with you. Memories I'll always remember, sceneries I've yet to discover. Would it be too much if I asked to stay forever? Everything feels warmer and safer. Anything we can get through together now that home with you. Home, sweet home. I'm with you. Home, sweet home. Home with you. Home, sweet home. I'm with you.
So, that was fun. But I guess it's time we got moving. I know you all have big plans.
You're gonna hardly recognize me when we see each other again.
I wonder if cream and sticks are free. Make a road trip out of it.
It'll be good to get back to my island. At least for a while.
We're wasting daylight. Let's go!
Sounding alone, shatter me like glass, covered in scars. But roses are coming through the cracks. Time that you killed, you promised to help me rebuild. You caught me off guard, sounding alarm. Said you'd keep me safe, now you're tearing me down. Am I laid to waste now that you're not around? Come and leave your mark, vandalize my heart. Find the pain away, my head is in ruins. Need you in my veins, don't know how you do it. Come and leave your mark, vandalize my heart. Did we make a work of art just so you could deface it? Did you let it fall apart just so you could replace it? Have your name on the side of a burning bridge. Watch it fade when the smoke rolls in. Time that you killed, you promised to help me rebuild. Feels like you planned it, took us for granted. Oh, said you'd keep me safe, now you're tearing me down. Am I laid to waste now that you're not around? Come and leave your mark, vandalize my heart. Find the pain away, my head is in ruins. Need you in my veins, don't know how you do it. Come and leave your mark, vandalize my heart. You're freaking crazy, hate me, love you, breaking bottles on the pavement just to watch it crash. Said you'd keep me safe, now you're tearing me down. Am I laid to waste now that you're not around? Come and leave your mark, vandalize my heart. Find the pain away, my head is in ruins. Need you in my veins, don't know how you do it. Come and leave your mark, vandalize my heart. You keep me safe, now you're tearing me down. Am I laid to waste now that you're not around? Come and leave your mark, vandalize my heart.